Welcome. Happy Friday, everybody. Gonna start off today. We're gonna talk about this. Just when you think it's gone, it's back. The whole meme stock nonsense that took place. Well, it just happened again, and it just caution here. Okay, I gotta put a thing up here. I'm gonna be brutally honest. I always am, but I got emails, got phone calls, people out there that were involved in Bed Bath and Beyond, and it's kind of like the whole. Remember Johnny Fontaine in Godfather One? What do I do, Godfather? What do I do? And he smacks him across the face. You can act like a man. I don't feel sorry anymore. I'll be honest with you, I haven't felt sorry for a lot of people for a long period of time. People that lose a shit ton of money and stupid crap like this. At some point in time, you got to wake the hell up and be personally responsible. You wanted to get rich quick. And all of a sudden it didn't work out for you and you lost money. That's like, getting angry that you didn't win the lottery, for crying out loud. It's stupid. Oh my God, the messages on the boards, Bed Bath and Beyond. Have you even taken a look at the fundamentals of that company? It's garbage. The entire financial condition of that company it's awful. Oh yeah, but you got this billionaire that bought into it. And you know what he did? He pulled the football away like Lucy and Peanuts from Charlie Brown. Again, stupid is as stupid does. You want to get rich quick? Do me a favor. Stop wasting my time. Don't waste my time with your BS and trying to convince me. And that's a funny thing about all of these investment cons and frauds from Madoff on through. All the stuff that I've covered here on this program for over 20 years. My 3-decade-plus career in this business. You know what the issue is? Okay? Is that you're all greedy. You're only rich. They all try to convince me that what they're doing is right. And they want my seal of approval. And when I don't give it to them, Marcos is always talking about blah, blah, blah. Until you lose money. What do you want me to do? Okay? It's gone. It's gone. Oh, you want to do the same thing and try to find the next one to make your money back? I remember that during the whole boiler room operators out there. You'd have these guys that, again, try to get rich quick on these garbage penny stocks. They were garbage penny stocks. And, they lost money. And then, you know what? They want to make their money back. And they want to make it back overnight. It was one of the first programs we started at Markowski Investments was our account repair program. And to be honest, it wasn't an easy sell. Somebody is down 50, 75% in their account because they did dumb things with their money. They want it back tomorrow. And we explained to them, I said, we'll make your money back, but it's going to take time. Everything in life that has meaning, value, and worth involves work, time, and effort. So I'm being honest. If you don't like it, you can stop listening to the show. You don't have to listen to me anymore. I don't feel sorry for you. All you Robin Hood fools out there, all you peoples hanging out on Reddit, looking for some sort of information. You think this is new? I remember when the internet was 1990s and they had message boards and people pumping stocks on message boards and following what was the next great thing that was going to be. Oh, come on. People, it's sad. It is. Yeah. What a guy. He made, Ryan Cohen. It's made $60 million off all you dumpskis. Because again, it was just a transfer, okay? You didn't lose money. You just transferred it to this real rich guy who was smarter than you. That's all he did. Well, it's not fair. He was able. No, it's plenty fair, okay? Read a little Sun Tzu, okay? You don't have to get into battle and try to, out-trade guys like this. They will crush you. I reminded me, great comedic troupe. I think they started in 1989. They went to 1995. They're back, actually. They're back. Kids in the Hall. They had this skit where it's like, I'm pinching her head. I'm pinching her head. I'm squeezing her face. They're pinching you. These guys, they will crush you. They will. And so many, the other one, I remember talking about this too, is people trying to trade currencies. And you think you can go head to head with Goldman Sachs? They'll crush you. So what's the point in playing that game? It's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when you're going to lose. We do things the right way. You can choose to participate, or you don't have to. Okay, continue to lose money. Anyway, IRS stuff, data showing that number of low-income audits could triple as the IRS continues to grow. Let me explain something about audits. An audit, the IRS can make an inquiry, and it's not an audit. An audit is they're saying, hey, wait a second, you didn't report income. You have unreported income. I don't know, maybe some of this gig worker stuff I think might play a part. I think, maybe some of the crypto stuff might play a part. But again, they're going to computerize that aspect, and with the type of technology that's available today, yeah. Make sure you're reporting your income. It's what it is, or be prepared. Let me tell you a story. There's a restaurant up the street from town over from me, in Northport, Long Island, and it's an Italian place called Robke's. I'll give you the name. The place annoys me because they only take cash. They only take cash. I never have, go dinner. I got to go out and I got to go to an ATM. The last time I used an ATM was probably, I don't know, at least 2 decades plus ago. I don't use ATMs. So I haven't been there in a while. People love the place. Food's good. It's good. Not great. It's good. But anyway, takes only cash. Every few years, the IRS comes in, plops it down, sits at the bar, makes a couple calculations and says, you know what, you're underreporting. Pay us this. The guy has the money. He just pays it. It's how it works. If you're cheating on your taxes, okay, if you're cheating on your taxes, you're doing the wrong thing. Make sure you have the money just in case they come after you. If you have the money, you pay it, they're going to go away. Anyway, COVID here. This is Jeffrey Tucker from the Brownstone Institute put a piece out. And, the more and more I look into this, the more and more upset I am. The fact that I own a registered an investment advisory. I manage people's money. I do TV. I host a radio show, have a podcast, all that good stuff. But I'm not an epidemiologist. And yet we had it right from the beginning. And the powers that be did not. Talking about the about face and how it was buried and what the CDC has decided to do right now, because again, they have to turn around because they're wrong. They're wrong. Basically what the CDC's latest guidance is everything can go back to normal. The whole concept, mass testing, gone. Tracking and tracing, gone. Demonizing unvaccinated people. Now they realize that, they're not going to do that anymore. Even though in order, if you're a foreigner and you want to come into the country, you still have to be vaccinated. Why? I don't know. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. It's just the reversal here. He writes, you might wonder how the great reversal treats masking. On this subject, they're not backing off. The Biden administration still has an appeal in process to reverse the court decision that the mask mandate was illegal all along. At the high COVID community level, the CDC adds additional recommendations focus on all persons wearing masks indoors in public and further increasing protection to populations at high risk. Yeah, it pisses me off. You're at the airport. They still have those stickers on the ground. They still have signs up, please wear a mask. Yeah, go blank yourself. Problem from the beginning. Never was an exit strategy from the crazy lockdown mandate idea. It was never the case that they would magically cause the bug to go away. The excuse that we would lock down and wait for a vaccine never made any sense. People surely knew early on about that. We covered this, and there's no doubt that this is an issue. Social, economic, cultural, mental health, or the devastation that would ensue. If they did not know this, they never should have been anywhere near the control switches of public health. Badges and bureaucracies do not terrify a virus destined to spread to the whole planet. And that's what we said from the get-go. You've got no shot. This is a respiratory virus. You're not going to stop it. And not one person with even the most casual passing knowledge of coronaviruses could have sincerely believed that a vaccine would magically appear to achieve something never before achieved in the whole history of medicine. I spent, remember this, it's back in, March, April of 2020. I spent an afternoon. Again, it's the magic of the internet and the type of research that you do and what's available to people. Spent an afternoon doing my homework on this stuff and looking at history, and did it over a period of time. We covered it great length here on the program. And we said, there's nothing you can do. Nothing we could do. When the Great Barrington Declaration appeared, October 2020, caused a global frenzy of fury, not because it said anything new. It was merely a pithy restatement of basic public health principles, which pretty much instantly became, you can't say that, Fauci and Birx. No, you got to discredit this. And they tried, the left, CNN, MSNBC, with all the freaking morons on that program that don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. Discrediting all this because, again, it was against the government and the bureaucracy, which they bow down to. It is their God, okay? They don't go to church. They go to church to play lip service. They don't believe in God. They believe in bureaucracy. The Great Barrington Declaration generated mania because the existing praxis was based on preposterously unproven claims that demanded that billions of people buy into complete nonsense. They did. Many did. It seemed too hard to believe that all the world's regimes, but a handful, would push such a damaging policy if it was utterly unworkable. When something like that happens, and there never was the hope that it could work, the regime imperative becomes censorship and shaming of dissent. It's the only way to hold the great lie together. And again, they're still doing it in China. They're so worried, the Chinese government is so worried about losing credibility, losing face with its own people, that they're going to continue to lock down. Did you see the pictures? Did you see the video? There was, I guess, somebody with COVID was in an IKEA, and they put out a declaration. Everybody's going to have to stay and go to some sort of COVID hotel. The mass people trying to escape from an IKEA so they wouldn't get caught by the authorities in China and get stuck at some sort of COVID hotel. The doctor, this is really interesting. Really interesting. And this goes to the heart of the stupidity of George W. Bush and the Bush administration. Oh, yeah. Dr. Rajiv Venkaya, widely credited with coming up with the idea of lockdowns while he was working for the Bush administration back in 2005. Maybe he was hired at the same time Brownie was hired to run... what's the bloody agency now? FEMA. That's it. That's the word. That's the acronym I'm looking for. Yeah. Hey, Brownie, you're doing a great job. Yeah. Brownie, this guy who ran horse shows, put him in charge of FEMA. Hey, Bush puts this guy in charge of, I don't know, pandemics. This guy had no training at all in public health or epidemiology. He later marveled that it actually came down to him, a young desk-dwelling White House bureaucrat, to invent pandemic planning. Maybe he should have demurred that day that George W. Bush asked him to lead the charge to inaugurate a new war on pathogens. Somehow his views gained converts, among whom was Bill Gates, the foundation for whom he has now been working for years. The rest, hey, it's history. Now, this column, Jeffrey Tucker, April 2020. Venkaya called me. This guy, Jeffrey Tucker, called Jeffrey Tucker to explain why I needed to stop attacking lockdowns. He said that the planners need a chance to make their scheme work. On the phone, Tucker asked the same question over and over. The same thing that we were asking here on the program. Where does the virus go? First two times, he didn't respond. Tucker presses. Finally, he said there's going to be a vaccine. It's hard, Tucker writes, it's hard to appreciate just how preposterous that sounded. How ridiculous that sounded. And I said something along the lines, it would be a medical miracle, never before seen, to have a shot for a coronavirus that was sterilizing against wild type and all inevitable mutations. And to do it in a reasonable time so that society and the economy has not completely fallen apart. Again, said the same thing here on the program. Have they come up with a cure for the cold virus? Did they have a flu virus, or does it just change? Hey, all you people still wearing masks out there, I guess you're going to be wearing them forever. You're going to be wearing them forever. It's not going away. It's not going away. The whole approach was clearly millenarian and at best, utter madness at worst. And here I was in the thick of global lockdowns on the phone with the architect of the whole idea, an idea that had reduced billions to servitude, wrecked schools and churches, sent communities and countries into complete upheaval. I wondered at the time what it would be like to be Dr. Venkaya that day. After all this ended in disaster, would he take responsibility? His LinkedIn profile today says otherwise. He is prepared to tackle current and future epidemic and pandemic threats as the CEO of Arium Therapeutics. Yeah, I could go on. It's a great piece by Jeffrey Tucker. And again, there's another piece in the Wall Street Journal today talking. And you read this stuff. You read this stuff and you're like, why the blank do I pay taxes? Why? For what? All right, I get it. You know, I don't mind if I could just write a check to the military. I would do so. But the CDC, have you looked into this at all? Dr. Scott Gottlieb has a book out talking about how the CDC, you remember how they botched the initial tests, COVID tests? They had, the private sector was looking for any and all information in regards to COVID because they wanted to come up with tests. Do you know that the CDC wouldn't give it to them? These freaking government bureaucrats wouldn't give it to the private sector because they wanted the credit themselves. Oh, yeah. Read it today. I don't even feel like getting into it. I really don't. Centers for Disease Politics column today. And it dives into just how ridiculous our government is. And now the CDC's, we got to change our ways now. We're going to change our ways. Mea culpa. Bullshit. You're government workers. And I'm sorry, I've got no respect for you. Zip, zero, zilch. Tulsi Gabbard, one of my favorites, Democrat Tulsi Gabbard from Hawaii, former congresswoman, said the greatest threat to democracy isn't Trump voters or parents protesting at school board meetings, but permanent Washington elite, which has weaponized the government and teamed up with corporate media to intimidate and silence those who dare to disagree with them. And I quote, when you look at permanent Washington, you look at all the different hands that are involved. And we're seeing this whole situation play out over the last couple of weeks. We see very prominently placed as the national security state and the mainstream media. And you've outlined some of these changing narratives and new information when they see the old piece of information wasn't quite having the impact that they wanted. I knew she wasn't going to win because the Democratic Party would never let her win. But that was who I wanted. That's who I wanted for on the Democratic side, Tulsi Gabbard. It's just funny. I'm a libertarian guy. No doubt about it. I have my conservative leanings, but most certainly very much a libertarian. I'm not a member of the Republican Party. And I was asked by this. He said, how much I like Tulsi Gabbard and, how much I wanted her to win. And people are like, well, that wouldn't be, she'd be formidable against Trump. Why would you want her to win? I said, I want the best people competing. Competition breeds excellence. Why would I want a weak candidate? We had a super weak candidate. You had Joe Biden, and he ended up winning, for crying out loud. Anyway, I've got my. I don't even care who's on top. Have a Rand Paul, Tulsi Gabbard ticket, Republican and Democrat, 2024. That's who I want. No, I don't want Pompeo. No, I don't want any of these freaking rhinos. Okay, I want Gabbard. I want Paul. I want Gabbard. That's my ticket. Anyway. Brookings Institute. Oh boy, wait till Democrats get their hands on this. They're going to have to hand out more money. This is preposterous. It costs $300,000 to raise a child in America today. No shit. $300,000? I would argue it's a hell of a lot more than that. But again, this study is going to be used to talk about child tax credits and handing out more money to people. Hey, Republicans, Marco Rubio loves this idea. Mike Lee, hey, we got to have more credits for having kids. No, how about making things more affordable here in this country by getting the hell out of the way, getting rid of regulations. Again, don't tell me it's not possible. Again, I just came back from Greece, okay? I should show you my restaurant bills. And the funny thing is, my party was 8. I took my niece. I also took my 3 kids, and I also took 2 of my son's teammates from college. And my restaurant bill for 8 was cheaper when it was just the 8 of us. Cheaper than going out when it was just the 5 of us back here in the United States, and it wasn't even close. Yeah. That's the reality. So don't tell me it's not possible. What you're going to see happen due to this, and again, this happened in Europe. Many places in Europe, they have population issues because of the cost of raising college, how expensive it is, taxes. This is another side thing most people don't realize, because here you get, the idiots. College is free in Europe. It should be free here. Oh, yeah. Okay. There's no community colleges in Europe. There's no safety schools in Europe. Either you get in or you don't get in. So parents spend a fortune. Their kid wants to go on to higher education on tutors for every single class all the time. They do. If that's what they want to go on in life, it costs a ton of money. And it's the same thing holds true here. My point is, and I know Rubio with his tax credits and Democrats and Mike Lee and all that stuff. I'm going to say it. I'm going to put one here. If you can't afford to have a kid, don't. If you can't afford to have a kid, don't. If you can't afford a boat, don't buy one. That's the reality of the situation. You have to understand that there are costs involved with raising a child. It is what it is. And I don't understand. I never really got my arms around that. Especially you see all these people coming across the border, people from these poor countries. I'm like, You've got nothing, and you see how you feel horrible. I said, I don't understand why you're procreating. I really don't. I don't get it. Again, could be me. Call me crazy. Soaring inflation driving retired employees back to the workforce. Now, this is a good story and a bad story, in my opinion. First and foremost, I wish it wasn't inflation that was driving retirees back into the workforce, but I knew that was going to happen. We knew this was going to happen. And actually, this is very good for our labor market. Well, that part's good. What's also good is I've always been a big believer, and I've been telling this to people and clients for a long period of time. Don't check out. You want to retire from a career. I get that. You might get tired of whatever you're doing. That's natural. That's fine. You want to do it anymore. Take some time off, but get yourself back in the game. Okay. You're going to be a hell of a lot healthier. This is just from a health standpoint. You are going to be healthier if you work a few days a week. It's a reality, people. It's a reality. And isn't that what you want? People talking about, the length of time that people can live nowadays. That's all well and good, but you want to be able to enjoy that time. And again, exercising your mind, getting out there working, just do it. Just trust me. And that's what I've been saying on the program. I got some backlash from it. Telling retirees to go back to work because of inflation. But again, at least you can. As bad as it is, this is the kind of, I'm always a glasses half full guy. Okay. I look at a situation because guess what? There's going to be all sorts of obstacles and crap that are going to be thrown at you in life. There are. And let's be honest here. Okay. We have first world problems here in the United States. Inflation sucks. This is stupid. It's unnecessary. I can't stand it. I don't like, I look at the bills that I pay. I'm like, it pisses me off. I get it, but it could be worse. If you happen to be in a situation when you're on, fixed income and inflation is hitting you more, you can go out and you can find yourself a second job. Okay. Again, you might not want to hear what I'm saying, but it's the reality. Okay. You take a look at world news and all. And that's one of the things, people, you need to branch out from your bull excrement cable news programs and read some newspapers and follow things from around the globe. Well, this country, we are enormously ignorant of how the rest of the world operates. Anyway, we're going to end on this today. There's a Yale professor who has a program at Yale. And it is, this is the Yale School of Medicine. She's a part of a university program that helps children as young as 3 years old with their gender identity. 3 years old. Ever read Dante's Inferno? Dante, I think he forgot a couple levels of hell, and people like this, you're going to be in it. Watchdog on WallStreet.com, watchdog on WallStreet.com. Have a great weekend, everybody.